Hey Facebook, hey YouTube, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com. Happy New Year. It seems like Christmas and New Year was ages ago. However, I know it's the 21st of January today, but this is my first Facebook Live of 2020 as I've been away sunning myself a couple of weeks out on the sun lounger by the pool. So Happy New Year to you all. Hope you had a brilliant festive season, and just thought I'd do a very quick heads up in terms of what's going to be happening in the first few weeks of 2020, and also a little bit of a future forward look as well. However, what I thought I would like to start with is a post that a lot of you have been commenting on and asking about, and it's the one that I called the empty chair. And the reason it was called the empty chair, I was on a flight last week, and a person I was traveling with needed more legroom, and so they asked if they could change seats, and it was a full flight. However, there were two possibilities, and so she wanted a seat with two seats next to each other. So sat in one of those, no problem. We then kind of found out why the other seat was empty. There was a gentleman sitting on the aisle seat. The seat in the middle was empty. My friend was then sitting in the one by the window, and it turns out the seat was empty because his wife had died while they were on holiday, which was just like, whoa. And it suddenly didn't look like a seat anymore. It actually looked a bit like somebody's life. You know, it's like, oh my God, there's that space. And I think when I didn't know, of course, I didn't know them. They're just the guy I met on the plane. But it's one of those things that always makes me a bit reflective when you kind of go, oh my God, you know, life, it's sometimes over in the blink of an eye. And that was, I guess, compounded by the fact I'd been to a rainforest and a volcanic island, which is 9 million years old. And then you think about how long we live for, and I'm like, oh my God, it literally is just a speck, and it's about living your best life. And it was reminding me about, you know, why I do the things that I do. And one of the reasons I do the things that I do is having discovered at the age 32 that there could be so much more to life, and I didn't have to be quiet and shy and depressed and suicidal, etc. There could be another way of being. That's been the thing that's been my driving force. So it's kind of been interesting to reflect on that one, and just a reminder, I guess, for me personally. You will take from it what you will, but the reminder for me was about, do you know what, don't wait. If there's stuff you want to do, experience, etc., go for it, because you just never know. And had a couple of experiences coming back on the way to the airport and kind of post-flight that also reminded me that life can turn on the, you know, what the saying is, the turn of a dime, and it totally can. Something happened right in front of my very eyes that just changed the whole landscape and changed everything for someone. So yeah, there was some pause for reflection for sure, as I then came back to the UK and started to gear up for what's going to be happening this year. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about today, I've got another Gregg Braden interview coming up, doing part 2. I can't believe a year has gone by already. And Greg said to me on that interview last January, I was just thinking we're doing one interview, and Greg said, I really enjoyed this. Can we do another one? Can we make this part of a series? And then the year just kind of rolled by and didn't get around to, and that's my fault. I should have contacted Greg. So part 2 is happening in February. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. We've got the Photo Reading 2020 workshop coming up. We've got the new e-learning platform that has now been launched. I'll be doing a bit more work on that this year. And also, if there's anyone out there who is looking for kind of press and PR opportunities, well, starting with those of you in my membership group, we'll talk about how you can do more of that this year as well. So let us begin. Where should we start? Oh, actually, yes, this one also. In terms of the possibility of the 5-day photo reading retreat and the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest retreat out in Spain in March. I've got to make a decision about that one really by the end of this month. So for those who are interested, drop me a message, let me know, and we'll talk about dates and which of those you want to do. So I need to kind of make a decision on whether I'm going to do that at all, because it was very short notice. It just so happens that the retreat is free, so we'd have the whole retreat and villa to ourselves for up to 10 days. And that's why I was thinking, right, a photo reading retreat will be good, because people are always saying the workshop just goes by so fast. and they'd love more time to absorb and actually do other things and get into more detail with some of the stuff we do on the workshop. So that's one possibility. And the same with what started off as a 1-day and is now the 2-day Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest. The feedback we have consistently is it's not long enough. And so again, time to kind of rest and relax on all levels, plus have use of the gorgeous retreat space and the pool, etc. So if you are interested in that, drop me an email. It's marilyn@transformationstm.com. I'll put the email in the description of this video later, but for those of you who are listening, I'll spell it as well. It's Marilyn, MARILYN, at trance, TRANCE, as in hypnotic trance. So TRANCE, F for Freddie. So FORMATIONSTM.com. So Marilyn at transformationstm.com. If you'd be interested in joining us in March, let me know about that. Now, with regards to I've now kind of set up dates for the Photo Reading 2020 workshop. And that will be in April of this year, April the 3rd to the 5th, if you would like to join us for that. And with regards to photo, and this one's going to be an interesting one, actually, because let's see. Just having a little play with these. So this is going to be an interesting one. We've got a family flying in from Australia, so it's going to be a real international event this time round, and that's quite a way to travel. So if you would like to join us for that, let me know. Let's see, there we go. So that is ignore the 20% off. It's actually 15% off until the end of this month. But that basically, I think that in terms of the feedback, sums it up. This was somebody from an IT background who thought they were coming to learn to read faster. And he said it's the best personal development course he's ever attended, because people, I don't think, expect it to be a personal development course. And feedback I get most consistently is this is way more than I thought it would be, and why didn't you tell me it was this, because I would have booked years ago. So if you want to join us, that's the 3rd to the 5th of April for the 2020 photo reading workshop. And because we have a family kind of flying in to join us this time round, so there was definitely going to be another, well, actually I think, yeah, we had a child, we had a family flying from Switzerland the one before last, so that was what, age 11 to the teenagers. So yeah, it's going to be another one with a mix of teenagers and adults, and that is always a really fantastic mix. People are always surprised by how much they learn from the younger participants. If you want to join us for that, then that will be coming up in April. The new e-learning platform is also launched, and so pretty much transitioning all of the workshops that I've done as in-person workshops. Some of them I've already run them as video webinars, so those are now available on demand, and others are going to be coming on stream. So I'll be running those as live webinars, and then thereafter you can download them from the e-learning platform. So I will put a link in either the comments or the description, so you can take yourself off to that page as well, and everything's there. So you just kind of click on the workshop that you're interested in, and then you'll get sort of an overview of what's included on pretty much all of them, I think. So what we've got here, what I can see on this screen, we've got the archetypes, we've got the fearless public speaking, we've got the healing from heartbreak, we'll have the photo reading on there, we'll have the practitioner insider secrets. So pretty much with everything that's there, there are some things that you can preview free of charge. You don't need to log in or anything like that. You just click on the preview button, and then of course there's content that will be unlocked once you book. So I will kind of give you the heads up and details for that as well. Let's see, what else did we want to talk about? Oh yes, Gregg Braden. Actually, before we do that, let's just have a quick chat about press, media, newspapers, magazines. It's something that I started to put a bit more focus and attention on towards the end of last year, because I really do enjoy the writing side. So some of you may have seen pictures of the articles that I've posted. You might have seen the one that Mandy Collins tagged me in yesterday. She was in Sainsbury's apparently shopping. She's flicking through a magazine while she just, standing around, and she's like, oh, and there was me in the magazine. So it's, it's something I've been doing now. God, where are we? Time is flying. I started doing that in 2003. So that's the past, 17 years now. And because I come across a lot of opportunities, this is the one that Mandy Collins saw. So it was a piece about me taking up ballet for the first time at age 47 and a half. So if doing more press, doing more media, having articles published both in print. That's an in-print magazine, so you'd have to go to the shop and buy it, which I will be doing tomorrow. There's also the stuff that I do which appears online. So had various articles published over the last few weeks, many of which I put into my e-newsletter. If you kind of want to go back and look at the archives and read those, there are links to all of them. So if you want to do more of that this year, it'll be something that I'm offering in terms of my membership group first and foremost. And if there is any overspill in terms of it's not an opportunity that they want to take up, or if I've got a bit of time, because oftentimes when the journalists want a story, or when they're requesting participants, when they want people to interview, when they want people to feature, it really is a case of I need it now or I need it yesterday. So there isn't always time to put it in my e-newsletter because there are a lot of moving parts to getting it out the door. But where there is overspill, where membership group, you don't want to take the opportunity, if I have got time, those details will also go into my e-newsletter. So keep an eye out for that. If more press and if more publicity and if more media is on your list for 2020, keep an eye on that. And with regards to the Gregg Braden interview, that will be going out live via video webinar on Monday, the 17th of February, at 6 p.m. UK time. What I'll do when I share this one, when I create the webinar page, which I'll do later on this week, I'll also put it in US. I think that is the equivalent of 11 a.m. Mountain time, but it's definitely 6 o'clock UK time. But I'll put all the various time zones in just so you get a sense. Again, if for those of you, we'll start again with my membership group. If you would like to submit a question to Gregg, because what I did last time round is I went to my membership group and also went to my e-newsletter list and had people submit questions, and then I took Gregg through those. And actually, that was a really good segment, and he loved the questions. You guys were deep. So if you know that you have a question for the fabulous Gregg Braden, then by all means, let me have it. And let me know what your question is, and I will put that into the mix when we do that sort of live interview. So yeah, I think those are the main things actually in terms of what's coming up, what's going to be happening, what's going down over the first 3 months of the year. I've got a few things that for those of you who would like the free bonus reading, we're going to do Tarot Tuesday a little bit differently to kick off the year, because I wasn't here for the regular. I do some Tarot Tuesday, someone could do every single month. I do free tarot readings for people in my membership group. I've got a few things that hold on, sorry, just saw a message there, but maybe actually I'll have a look at the message on my Facebook page in a mo, because you can't always bring the messages up on this thing. Let me just see if I can. Oh, thank you, Natasha says, welcome home. Woohoo! Yeah, cool. So I wasn't around to do the usual monthly Tarot Tuesday this month. So what I'm going to do is a version of Tarot Tuesday that I did for my paid Huna and Big Huna and Tarot Big Clearing call, where we're going to do a retrospective reading, and we're going to do a future reading. And I did that on the call that I ran in December for the year ahead. First email I got was OMFG. ... Thank you. The next email that I got the next day was, oh my God, I wasn't around for the live recording. I've just listened to the replay, and everything you said was spot on. So that always kind of blows people's mind how it plays out. And so I'm going to do the same with the membership group, given that we missed I missed the January one, and so that will be taking place in February. So if you would like a free reading, put your name in the thread. Because I'm going to be doing for each person individually a retrospective reading and a future reading, it is going to take a bit longer than usual. Our Tarot Tuesday sessions are anything from 60 to 90 minutes, depending on how many people I'm reading for. And that's when I'm just doing one card. Sometimes, I'll do 2 cards, but generally speaking, it's a 1 card reading for each person every month. Because I know it's going to take longer this time, what I'm probably going to do is start with doing it on official Tarot Tuesday, which is the first Tuesday of the month, and then do the rest of the readings later on in the month, so you don't have to sit through like 2 or 3 hours worth of readings. And of course, once I've done the readings, I'll do a running order so you can tell where your reading is. So that's up in the membership group now. So put your name in the thread if you do want a reading, and I will add you into the mix. Cool. Well, I think that's it in terms of a quick heads up for opening up this year. I also just want to say thank you to everyone who has been, because I can't believe this year is 20 years since I made the decision to give up the chartered accountancy and become a coach and hypnotherapist instead. How time flies. So I just want to really say thank you to everyone who has been a client over the last 20 years. A massive thank you also to everyone in my membership group. That kind of keeps the energy of that turning. Thank you so much to everyone in my satellite groups, the Magic and Gratitude, the Money Breakthrough, and yeah, it's been quite a couple of decades. So I'm excited to see what the next decade, the next 2 decades, have in store. If you'd asked me this time 20 years ago how I thought my life would play out, nothing that I do now would have been on the radar. There are things I do now I didn't even know what they were 20 years ago. So I'm guessing that the next 20 years will be similar to what I'm doing now. However, I'm open to change and transformation and transition, and never say never, because you never quite know what's coming. So wishing you all a fantastic 2020, an incredible new decade. And here is to living your absolute best life. And, doing the things you want to do, having the experiences you want to have, and letting go of any of the blocks and barriers and things that are standing in your way. And if I can be of assistance with that, you know where to find me. Main website is www.transformationstm.com. TRANCEFORMATIONSTM.com. So www.transformationstm.com. And very much look forward to working with you that will be clients this year. So have a good one. Hope you all had an incredible Christmas break, and I will catch you all later. Bye bye.